Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games. Welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Mirage, which is coming out 1 week from now on March 6th.
The Jinn. They were bound to serve, but not to suffer. The Afarude assault our lands, trapping my Jinn in an astral plane.
Looks like an okay
Break
chieftain
their
league.
chains, rescue them, and you will be granted a wish.
Yo, wait, it's like a Survivors League.
An ancient evil yearns for his freedom. We must keep him in the dark.
Imbued? Wait, what happened? Holy skills? Wait. Exceptional support. Keepers to core. Wait, huh? Oh, there's a lot. That was a lot really quickly. Wait, is that a new bloodline? I'm like stun locked.
In today's stream, we'll take you on a deep dive into Path of Exile Mirage, where you'll unravel ancient mysteries, unlock new powerful rewards, and become part of the eons-old story of the Winter Sekima. There are also significant in-game changes coming alongside Mirage, including a progression of the in-game storyline, a new in-game atlas system, and as always, new rewards to match. After that, we want to talk about the slew of new Holy Templar skills and supports, as well as an additional ascendancy class option added to the Scion, which some of you may find familiar.
In Path of Exile Mirage, you'll be taking on the Afarude, a sect of desert-dwelling necromancers who have lingered in the shadows for centuries. They are outcasts of outcasts, with no home or promised land. Instead, they seek their sovereignty through darker means. The Afarude have captured the souls of Jinn throughout Rayclast. They are killing them, sapping their energies for purposes unknown. You must fight your way past the Afarude's necromantic creations to find the captive Jinn. Here, Varashta, an ancient Marikith sorceress, has been doing what she can to protect the Jinn, but she needs your help to free them. After successfully defeating them, you will then be asked by Varashta to enter the Astral Realm and break the tether trapping the Jinn there. This gate to the Astral Realm is a mirage, an imperfect copy of the area around the captured Jinn. Now, when we say an imperfect copy, we mean that quite literally. Hold tight, because this leak mechanic has some serious implications for juicing areas. We'll get to that in a moment. Varashta can augment the magic of the mirage further, as she allows you to enter, giving you the option to choose one of 3 wishes before you do so.
What is your desire?
These wishes are modifiers that will apply to the Mirage area.
That's cool.
And have some pretty potent outcomes. There are wishes that grant extra rewards, such as the wish for glyphs, which causes all portal and wisdom scrolls in the Mirage to instead drop as other currencies.
You get a lot of scrolls,
Or
man.
wishes that will spawn rewarding enemies, such as the wish for avarice, which replaces a number of packs in the area with gilded enemies that convert their equipment drops to gold. And wishes that can grant you extreme power while inside the Mirage, such as the wish for souls or the wish for godhood, which allow you to consume the souls of your enemies or make you completely unkillable, while within the Mirage, of course. Each wish is also marked with the sigil of one of 3 powerful Jinn: the Sand Jinn, Fire Jinn, or Water Jinn. Depending on the sigil chosen, monsters within the affected Mirage will have a small chance to drop one of 3 new coin currencies. a coin of knowledge, coin of power, or coin of skill.
Whoa.
Each of these coins can be used on a max-leveled skill gem, corrupting it and augmenting it with a random support that matches the color of the coin used.
Wait, it gives another link?
Only one skill that is imbued this way can be socketed into a given equipment item at a time, meaning you cannot have 2 imbued skill gems in your body armor, as an example. As we mentioned earlier, Mirages are an imperfect copy of the area the Djinn occupies in Rayclast, and it will copy almost anything, as long as it's within the
color
domain
has
of
to
the
match.
Djinn.
Right.
Mirages created from an in-game map, for instance, will have all Scarab, Atlas, and map modifiers the area had.
Oh.
Mirages created next to a strongbox will have a new strongbox ready for you to open. Blights can be defended again.
Wow.
Legions fought once more.
Okay.
And so on.
So it doubles your league mechanics.
Effectively, you get a portion of your map to play a second time. And everything you did to enhance the content of that map applies in the Mirage too. These recreated copies of League mechanics, however, have been warped into reality by the power of the Mirage. And this has some side effects. For one, a recreation may not be perfect. The factions of a Legion may differ from the one the Mirage copied.
Okay.
Or the variety of strongboxes may change. More importantly, the mechanic may be empowered, with new threats and rewards that are customized to each mechanic and are only available when doing that mechanic in the Mirage. For example, ultimatums recreated in Mirages will have new threatening modifiers added to the usual pool. Restless Ground can raise slain enemies to fight again, or Quicksand will grasp at your ankles. As a reward for these new threats, Mirage ultimatums can provide the new Sinistral or Dextral catalysts. These catalyze jewelry with increased effect of either prefix or suffix modifiers.
Oh.
As you can imagine, there's a lot of potential here. Another
Whoa.
example is that Kalgurin ore recreated in the Mirage has a chance to be replaced by a Thaumaturgic Hourglass, a powerful magical device that your Kalgurin friends can mine in order to obtain vast quantities of Thaumaturgic dust. Blight encounters recreated in Mirages have one of their lanes replaced by Afarude enemies, infested with Blight. This lane can reward a new base type, the Cord Belt. The implicit of this belt allows it to be anointed, causing it to grant a passive tree notable of your choosing.
Wait, that's kind of big.
As the campaign doesn't generally contain too much additional League content for the Mirages to empower, we've gone and added a whole bunch that will force spawn near the Djinn, so your campaign experience will double down on being more action-packed and rewarding. Now, of course, if you're traveling through Mirages, encountering new enemies, and slaying them, you can expect to find some new uniques. The Afarude are not only torturers, but thieves, and have over the centuries stolen away priceless Maraketh artifacts. Using their powers of rot and disease, they have twisted these items to suit their own purposes. Flesh Render is one such artifact, an ancient and exquisite Maraketh blade that has been tarnished and befouled. Its rusted and jagged edge is perfect for poisoning and withering your enemies. However, Varashta has in her command the power to restore these once lost Maraketh treasures to their former glory. Acquiring a coin of restoration by slaying monsters in Mirages allows any unique obtained from the Afarude to be transformed into its Maraketh counterpart, its glorious original form. Flesh Render, for example, transforms into Sky Sunder, the original Maraketh blade that radiates
Another
with the glowing
reflected
heat
knight?
of the desert sun. When you ignite monsters, Sky Sunder
Wait.
reflects that ignite back to you,
What the fuck is
which
that
proliferates
weapon?
to nearby enemies in a massive area. If you meddle with the affairs of the Afarude for too long, though, you may draw the ire of the Mirage League's new in-game boss, Saresh of the Weeping Black.
Yeah, it's unaffected by Ignite built in.
Saresh also has a set of powerful, exclusive items. Yours for the taking, if you're able to defeat him. Now, to face all the new evils, you might want some righteous skills.
Righteous?
Some holy skills. In
There's no
328,
way.
you'll have
Why
access
did he
to a
say it
slew
like
of new
that?
options to bring divine
Why did-
devastation and return the faithless to their
Why did
rightful
he
graves.
say it like that?
We're also introducing some supports to go with them, as well as some new transfigured gems. Let's go over a few examples. With Holy Hammers, you slam the ground to call down a Hammer of Justice from the sky. If this hits an enemy, an additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth. Expending a power charge when using the skill will call down an additional 2 hammers,
This
which can
skill looks
also cause
mad as
cascading
fuck.
slams. The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of
What am
holy
I
judgment.
looking at?
Sweep is an old skill. In fact, it is so old that it's one of the very first skills ever implemented in Path of Exile, over 15 years ago. It's been long overdue for some attention. With 328, it has been reworked into Holy Sweep. This skill converts some of your physical damage to lightning, with shiny new effects to match. Some enemies struck by the initial sweep will have hammers of light batter them from above. These hammers cause area damage where they land, so clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely. These weapons are minions, and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do. These holy armaments will copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage.
That sounds cool.
Stand against your foes with Shield of Light, a retaliation skill which will allow you to unleash a cone of holy light upon enemies after blocking a hit with your shield. Additional cones of light will also pour forth from your nearby allies when you hit with the skill, allowing you to recruit your holy army to create purging light. Divine Blast emits a beam of holy light from your shield, coalescing into a hovering ball of energy. A few moments later, this unstable orb bursts, exploding outward with divine power. Hallow supports melee attacks, causing them to inflict a new
Halo?
debuff.
Hello?
Hallowing Flame.
Oh, hello. Oh.
Hallowing Flame builds up as
Hallowing.
charges on enemies, getting consumed when
Hallowing?
attacked. Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame gives the attack that consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage.
Yeah, I heard
But
hello.
only those who did not inflict the Hallowing Flame are able to consume it.
Okay.
Perfect for those of you who enjoy a more supportive playstyle with your army of holy sentinels. Or friends, when they're online.
Sad.
We've also added sources of this debuff to a number of other places, such as unique items, cluster jewels, and the Guardian Ascendancy class. We also have another batch of new transfigured gems, with many of these being variants for gems which previously had none. One example is the Shockwave Totem of Authority, which casts its higher damage dealing Nova at your location instead of its own. You might also enjoy Orb of Storms of Squalls. These storms warp directly to targets when you use lightning skills, and arc lightning upon doing so.
Wait, what?
This gives you a mobile storm of destruction that follows you as you dive into battle. We'll leave the rest of the transfigured skills for you to comb through in the patch notes. Speaking of the patch notes, as always, we love to shake up the meta, so we've done a bunch of balance adjustments to a few other things as well, such as a pass on bloodline classes, expanded the passives available to the Templar section of the passive tree, and various improvements to existing holy themed skills such as Static Strike, Holy Flame Totem,
Are you gonna say Righteous Fire?
and Dominating Blow.
No, okay.
We're also doing our usual improvement to some of the least played ascendancy classes. This time with a focus on Guardian and Warden. Speaking of ascendancies, let's talk about the Scion and her new
That's where you find her
Requarian
the first
ascendancy class.
time before Dominus.
For those that have played the Legacy of Frisia events, this class will seem familiar. The Requarian is a learned Scion that has studied history at the Oriath Academy. She is a part of a secret society of Oriathans, dedicated to collecting and discerning the strange properties of unique items. All of her passive powers come from these unique items, found from throughout Rayclast. After ascending, first select the power of a unique armor. Victario's influence increases the level of all your auras and gives them a much larger area of effect. Or instead, take Kilowava's Bluster, giving you a chance to have extreme elemental resistance against incoming hits. Next, pick from a unique weapon power. Widow Hail greatly increases the bonuses gained from your quiver. Or Martyr's Teaching, which causes your minions' critical strike chance with attacks to be equal to your main hand weapons. Lastly, pick your Crown Jewel, a unique jewelry power. Astral Projector causes Nova spells to cast from enemies rather than from yourself. Or take Astramentus, simply giving you a huge boost to all your attributes.
Okay.
Due to all the ways you can mix and match unique powers, the Requarian has more flexibility in how you build it compared to any other Ascendancy class in the game. Our plan going forward is for the Requarian to not be a static Ascendancy class, and between each expansion, the unique powers which are offered will change.
Oh.
If you don't like what she offers this expansion, hopefully she'll have the power of your favorite unique item in the next one.
Very different.
With this expansion, we are aiming to liven up the endgame, giving players new experiences, strategies to leverage, and streamlining or removing the more frustrating tasks. Extensive changes will be coming to the Atlas and how you engage with maps, without interfering with the beloved core experience that has made mapping so successful. In the last few endgame updates, you experienced Zana's story, how she helped defeat the Elder, tried to stop exiles from going mad in the Atlas, and faced new threats pouring forth from it.
This is the rip thing they
In the
showed
most
with
recent
the four.
expansion, she eventually realized that there was only one way forward, to destroy the Atlas. Zana's recent actions have now weakened the already strained and tattered edges of its realities, reshaping how we interact with the Atlas entirely. We realized we'd love to again have mechanics that manifest physically on your Atlas, but we'd have to address the issue of always needing those specific maps.
Is it a
The
currency
first
now?
major change we'll be making to solve this is divorcing map items from specific areas. As an example, instead of having a Mesa map, you will now find, say, a Tier 10 map. To open a Mesa map now, just locate and select Mesa on your Atlas, put in your map item, click Activate, and you're good to go.
Whoa!
That Mesa may drop a Tier 11 map.
Whoa!
You can then immediately return to your map device, which will default to the last map
Whoa!
run, and then run it again. Or choose a new map to use it on. It's your choice.
Yeah, this is what they're gonna do for PoE 2. And you know what?
This is one of the many
I'm
benefits
okay
to
with
this
that.
change. You'll also notice that the structure of the Atlas has changed. If you haven't played in a while, here's a look at it before and after.
I don't really
You will
like
now
it as
begin
much,
at
but
the
it's just
center of the
cosmetic.
Atlas,
That's okay.
with each corner housing one of 4 Voidstone slots. In addition, all content accessed from your map device now exists physically on the Atlas, so you can see everything available in the endgame as you reveal the Fog of War.
Okay.
This also means that all unique maps are now present on the Atlas, including some old favorites that are appearing for the first time. Don't worry though, you don't need to complete Hall of Grandmasters every league. You now gain 1 Atlas skill point per unique map completed, up to a maximum of 10.
So you don't need to do them all.
Given there are around 20 unique maps, you only need to complete the half you want, if you can get your hands on them. Due to Zana's actions, Egan now has a new goal and is determined to stop Zana's destruction by making use of a mysterious new discovery, Arcane Astrolabes. Zana is currently traversing the threads that weave the Atlas together, severing them. With these new astrolabes, Egan is able to trace her movement, but using them causes dangerous side effects.
Well, I mean...
When you use an astrolabe on a map on the Atlas, a shaped region will manifest itself in that quadrant,
but
affecting
it's like
many
a
of
whole
the maps within
quadrant,
it.
though. Oh.
There are many different kinds of astrolabes,
Wait.
and they apply different types of shaped regions. For example, an abyssal region.
Wait, but that doesn't matter
which
though,
causes
because you
all
just
the maps to have
put it on
an
like the
additional
T16
abyss.
map, and then you can
Or
just rotate
a
it,
blighted region,
right?
which adds a blight encounter. Completing the content added by the astrolabe will remove the shaped region's influence from that map. Upon doing so, every other map remaining in the shaped region will gain an additional modifier. This means as you progress through the shaped region, maps you run will become more and more intense,
It's cool. It's
with the relevant mechanic getting
very
more
cool.
and more juiced. Finally,
Forcing
at
me
the
to run
end of
other
the region
maps.
of maps,
No, it's
once
other
you have
map
successfully
tiers,
rid
though.
the Atlas of
It's
the
not
shaped
actually
region,
other maps.
Egan will take you to one of 4 memory vaults,
At least I
where there are
think.
powerful rewards to be had.
It's
He
other
cares
maps.
only for the knowledge hidden within
Is
that
it?
vault,
I thought
so
you could
any
change
items
it
are
now,
yours
though.
for the taking. Each vault is
Oh, those are
associated with a
maps, not the
specific
tiers.
quadrant
Right,
on the
right.
Atlas.
I think you're right. I think
So
you're
you're
right.
able to target a certain vault if you're wanting to try get a specific type of reward.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
One such vault is the Archon's Vault, where you'll be rewarded with powerful unique items.
Fuck heist.
Or the Zealot's Vault, to acquire valuable currency items. This new shaped region system is one that promotes running many different maps. But for players that want to engage with this new system while still wanting to run the same map over and over
No
again,
tank.
the synthesized stability keystone on the Atlas tree enables exactly that. We've removed cartographer's chisels and map device crafts entirely. The loss of content and loot here has been compensated for in other places.
1% item
Void
quantity?
Stones now grant special global bonuses while socketed on your Atlas, including adding the new Originator Void Stone, which enables specific Atlas bosses to drop exceptional supports. We'll elaborate more on that in the next section. T17 maps as you know it have effectively been removed. The bosses have been kept around, and they better fulfill their original purpose of being a gateway to target farm uber pinnacle
shot.
bosses.
They fucking removed
The most
them.
annoying modifiers on Originator maps have been removed or replaced.
Thank
No more getting turned into
God.
a slug for simply using skills. And no more will you be incapable of dealing damage periodically. Petal skills in Originator maps have been removed. However,
Thank God.
some of their effects are now available from the altars and memory threads.
Sure, whatever.
Memory tears, instead of adding a memory thread to your Atlas, will now drop an itemized version of that thread, allowing you to save it for later or trade it at your leisure. We've added new scarabs, such as this Expedition Scarab of Infusion, which can generate some truly tempting logbooks.
Not on life support, nope.
And for those of you looking to take on the ultimate one-on-one fight, the Anarchy Scarab of the Exceptional will place a true antagonist-level
Wait.
rogue exile threat in your map.
Wait.
Empowered by every type of Wildwood Wisp, possessed by a tormented spirit, augmented with rare monster modifiers, and affected by a shrine, this exile is not to be trifled with.
Yo, that's fucking great.
Alongside that, we've also changed some, such as the Beyond Scarab of Resurgence, which now causes all 3 Beyond bosses to appear when a Beyond boss would spawn in your map.
Okay.
On top of that, we've made improvements
What is
to a
that?
number of weak Atlas Tree passives, such as Pillage and Plunder, which now grants a chance for items dropped by Syndicate members to have a Fractured Veiled mod. Check out the new The Paths Not Taken
You
Keystone,
can pick from
which
3
means your maps
and
on
they're
average will
fractured?
drop twice as many divination cards.
What did that
But
say?
which ones can drop will be a mystery. And last, but not least, we've also made some changes to King's March shipping, such as we've swapped the rewards given by sending ore and crops.
Wait, what?
I wonder what this new port will send back.
Oh.
Ports will now give more rewards for favored resources.
Wait.
And you can even re-roll them for gold, if they're not offering what you're after. Specific ports will now reward specific tattoos and rune grafts, making it easier to target the ones you want. Not to mention, the Kalgurans have discovered several new powerful rune grafts for you to get your hands on, such as the Rune Graft of Fury, which causes you to gain rage on using a life flask.
Oh, this is good though.
The Rune Graft of Resurgence,
because the crops
which
now
causes
give
Arcane
you
Surge to also grant life regeneration.
Stuff, no? So it's the other way around.
We mentioned earlier about the Originator Voidstone enabling access to exceptional supports.
Yeah, you actually have to run maps
So
for
let's get
ore.
into that, as there's a decent amount to cover. After defeating the incarnations of Fear, Neglect, and Dread, you will obtain the Originator Voidstone. As mentioned earlier, this Voidstone allows new, exceptional support gems to drop from many bosses across the Atlas. These new supports are an improvement over the old Awakened support system, which is being phased out. Awakened supports have long been a capstone investment for a character, but there's existed a gulf between the more interesting ones, such as Awakened Spell Cascade, which has some additional transformative effect, as opposed to some of the simpler Awakened supports, which just have slightly higher numerical values. Exceptional supports will all be transformative, serving as an additional late-game tool to customize your build around, and extending character customization and creation even later into a build's life. One of the goals here is to provide interesting build choices even at later levels and deep into the endgame. However, we are certainly not aiming to reduce top-end player power with these changes. Exceptional supports will still be super strong. If used well, they will catapult your character even further than before. So, how many are there, and what exactly do they do? There are over 40 new exceptional supports to discover, adding additional enticing drops to bosses that may otherwise have felt not as worthwhile to run, giving players extra reason to take on those challenges. For instance, from the King in the Mists, we have the Hex Toad support. This support creates areas of swampy cursed ground, which spawns toads that bounce towards enemies and then explode, dealing chaos damage. From the Uber Elder, we have the Void Storm support, which causes your raining attacks to create celestial storms of energy that grow over time,
That's a support
detonating
gem?
as you approach for massive damage. Defeating the incarnation of Neglect may win you the Frost Mage support.
That's a support
Similar
gem?
to the existing Archmage support, you are rewarded for stacking mana to enhance your spells with extraordinary cold damage. We'll tease some more of these before launch, but there will be many, many more for you to discover. Keepers of the Flame is coming back. However, we do know that many players have issues with the walls in hive encounters.
Please remove them.
In order to address these concerns, we'll be making a number of changes. One of the biggest problems is that walls would block your projectiles, meaning that when a hive randomly spawned in your map, it would make it harder to clear. In order to prevent that, walls and hive encounters will now be destroyed by any damage. But we also wanted to make sure we reduce the visual clutter they cause. Hives and their walls
Come on, shrink
are
by
now
like 80%.
smaller. To allow players to engage with hive encounters quicker when they do want to help Aelith, we've added a new Atlas passive which drastically increases the detonation area of unstable burrows, causing them to reliably chain react and destroy the majority of remaining walls. For those who don't want to deal with the walls at all, there's now a pair of keystones that allow you to block hive encounters or unstable breaches.
It said they're always unstable. Yes.
Now that this is a core league, we don't want you to have to grow your Genesis tree from scratch on every league start. So now, each womb gift slot is already usable by default, and access to the Monastery of the Keepers will be gained by finding Aelith starting in Act 6 Mudflats. Now with Atlas Tree and Scarab support, you can have multiple unstable breach encounters active in a single area, for maximum ruckus.
That's kind of juicy.
Speaking of Atlas Tree and Scarab support, we've added plenty. Here are a few examples. The Massing Forces Atlas notable grants a chance to have additional unstable breaches in your maps. The Breach Scarab of the Marshal guarantees a breach boss or hive fortress, while the Breach Scarab of the Incensed Swarm replaces all of Aelith's skills with Enrage the Hive, increasing the difficulty and reward from hive monsters in all subsequent waves.
Okay.
Graft items will no longer exist.
Good, fuck
But
off.
we've moved several of the graft skills to new exceptional supports,
Oh, that's awesome.
such as the Hiveborn support, which summons an army of breach minions to do your bidding when you use a supported offering skill. And the Foul Grasp support, which calls forth a field of grasping breach hands when you recall brands, exploding for heavy lightning damage when enemies approach them.
That's kind of cool.
We're looking forward to seeing how these improvements and additions are received, alongside a lot of what Keepers also has to offer. From the new bosses and their bloodline, through to the Genesis tree and its many different crafting options, like Foulborn uniques. Also with its new narrative, we look forward to extrapolating on all of this and learning more about Aelith, the Hiveborn, and its Breach Lords in the future. That covers all the new content we're adding, and that was a lot. From a new in-game system, several new reward types, new ways to juice maps, all of which you can double up in the new Mirage League, and all that alongside a suite of new holy skills, a new ascendancy class, and an insane amount of new character customization in the endgame.